Hello, thank you for inviting me. I'm very glad to be here at the annual Women Business and Wellness Conference. I'm very happy to be here and share my thoughts on what has been probably the most extraordinary year of my career, and I think of all of our careers in our lifetime. And my name is Lisa Brandl. I am the Chief Operating Officer for the County of Riverside. The County of Riverside is an organization that has over 22,000 employees, over 40 different departments, and provides services to our residents over 7,400 square miles. And we have about 2.4 million residents in our county. And we have all kinds of different micro economies, from our wine country, from our mountains in Idlewild, the beautiful vistas in Palm Springs, world famous Coachella Music Fest, and the beautiful Mission Inn in Riverside County. So we span a lot of different micro economies and all kinds of things going on. But one of the things I want to talk to you about is how we manage resources and how we're continuing to manage resources during the pandemic. And so I don't think we or I thought it would last this long, and everything happened so quickly in the spring. One day we were working, and the next day we were sending everyone home and to work from home. And it was a kind of a chaotic time. Our county also runs a regional hospital, which is off the 60 freeway in Moreno Valley, and serves everybody in our county. It's a public hospital. And so we were there on the front line. We have a lot of federally qualified health clinics, and we were worried about getting tests. We were worried about getting respirators. We were worried about having enough nurses, worried about having enough doctors. And so we activated our emergency operations center, which is still active today. But what I can share is the extraordinary teamwork that has occurred throughout our county, not just with our county employees, but our education, our Office of Education, our 17 regional hospitals worked together to ensure that we had enough beds for those that were affected, because we were definitely afraid that we were going to have, all of our hospitals were going to be overfilled with capacity for ICU, treating those that were affected by COVID. And we were all of us, just like you, were watching the news, where we were seeing what was happening in Washington and in New York and how they were overflowed. And that was our biggest fear. And we took a lot of great measures. We were at the forefront, probably in the nation, to advocate wearing face coverings through our public health officer. And as you all know, it's been very contentious. It's very stressful. People are afraid of losing their livelihoods, rightly so. And so our county has had to respond, not just on the front line for providing tests, for ensuring that we have hospital beds, but to meeting the needs of our community, our small business community, which, as you know, is the backbone of the American economy, and making sure that those that are afraid of being evicted, that we provide some kind of resources on rental assistance, not just for those that are renting, but also those that own homes. They have to make mortgage payments. We have to think of all of these things in a holistic, kind of organic fashion. And so we're moving a million miles a minute, and it feels like it's been 10 years, and it's really only been 8 months. And one of the things that's going on now is we are, experiencing another surge. And again, I continue to be amazed at the amazing work that all of our county departments do, our leaders, our elected officials. We were a direct recipient of CARES Act funding because of the size of our county. And our board was able to allocate funds for rental assistance, for providing housing for homeless individuals, because you don't want homeless individuals who are ill with COVID, out wandering around. And so we were able to house hundreds of people, which is an amazing feat. We were able to provide electronic devices for K through 12. We provided $10 million in CARES Act funding to our Office on Education to provide those electronic devices for those kids that need it to continue their education. We also provided loans to, or grants to small businesses and to our nonprofit communities, to private schools. I think we've done a fantastic job providing the needs and the services and equipment that's needed for all of our different businesses. We created an SOS team of different departments. We had somebody from behavioral health, somebody from public health, we had somebody from maybe environmental health reaching out. We created a business ambassador program to help small businesses modify their business so that they could continue to have customers, so that they would have PPEs. We also created a very similar structure for our skilled nursing facilities, for our most vulnerable populations. They're the most vulnerable to COVID, and we helped train the workers, provide PPE. We were out there responding when they needed help. And we continue to do that. We continue to work with our 17 different regional hospitals. We have a great partnership with UCR School of Medicine, a great foundational relationship with Loma Linda, the world famous Loma Linda University Hospital. So all of these things we were able to tap into. And it's not without some fits or struggles, and we're still learning. In the very beginning, we didn't know how, we had an idea of how COVID was spread. We didn't know how long it lasted or how long you were affected or when you would come down with symptoms. Now we know a lot more. And so we're working hard to present and provide information to our residents. We launched the Masks Are Medicine campaign, where we distributed over 10 million masks to all of our residents and all of our businesses through partnerships with nonprofits. So there's a lot of different resources that we do have to manage, that we do continue to manage. And so we continue to work with our federal and state partners to ask for additional assistance post December, because as we are finding out, our hospitals are now getting full again. That's no secret, and we're very worried. And so we need to stress the assistance that we need from our federal and state partners to continue to fight. There is hope, though. We have good news. You read about it. There are vaccines being developed, and we have the infrastructure in place to distribute vaccines as soon as we get them. They are going to most likely vaccinate those that are frontline workers. That makes sense. You know, our public safety, our officers, our nurses, our doctors, our clinicians, those that are out there. But eventually there'll be enough vaccines for all of us. So I am hopeful that we will get through this in 2021 so that we can build the foundation for our residents and open up our small businesses who have been hammered by this. And so we want to provide that beacon of hope for everyone. And I am very heartened to hear about the vaccines being developed. And I know that all of us in our region will work closely together. Our cities have been excellent partners in providing testing sites. Well, those testing sites will be vaccination sites. We're going to keep them ready for deployment in Indio, in Paris, in Riverside, in Corona. So we are working with our federal partners to plan the deployment of the vaccine to those that want it. And I am very confident and heartened to hear of the effectiveness of it. And I do remain optimistic that we will get through this, but we're all going to work together to do this. And I know that we will. And so that we can provide a future for our children and our families and see and hug our families again. When we sent everyone home when the pandemic first hit, we're talking 22,000 employees. Now, not everybody went home, right? So we have a hospital, we have nurses, we have doctors, we have clinics open. They're still out there. They're still receiving and meeting the needs of patients and clients. We have our sheriff's officers. We operate a jail, and we have to take care of those that are in our jails. And so our deputies are constantly exposed to those out in the public, and they've done a great job helping us spread the word of the importance of covering your face, maintaining your space, right, for COVID. We have our social workers in DPSS that were out visiting clients. We also created a virtual world where clients could apply for benefits, apply to our Workforce Development Center online. Now, we've always had an online presence, but this is where we ratcheted up a notch, right? So our assessor clerk recorder went almost all virtual. So I am amazed at how quickly we were able to switch to this virtual kind of world, and how it's also helped us realize that the workplace may be changing. We know that we can provide services working from home for our residents. We do know that we do need to meet with clients and residents, so we created appointment services. We created drive-up services where somebody like Veteran Services, somebody wants to apply for benefits or has a question. You can make a phone appointment, pull up into the parking lot, somebody will come out and take your information on an iPad. So we were able to turn these needs around so quickly, and we are continuing to provide services. We are continuing to provide and distribute CalFresh benefits, WIC benefits. We are able to engage with our child care centers to make sure that the child care centers are open for our essential workers. So we've created and developed strong relationships with our Office of Education. So all of our employees have been able to rethink how they do their work. Even the supervisors, their direct supervisors, their managers have rethought what is a workplace for our county. And so what I can envision in the future is that we create these virtual hubs where we have different disciplines, where people plug in and they engage in different regions. They live in the Southwest version, so we create a hotel, motel kind of hub setup where you just plug in your computer and you're able to work from there. So our county employees have done an awesome job of meeting the needs of all of our residents and making it work when we had to make it work. So for 2021, on our small businesses, it is going to be tough. It is going to be a struggle. But the more that we can work together as a community and as a region, we can lessen the impact of COVID so that we can open up again. And I remain hopeful that we will be seeing, the inland Southern California region will be seen a little bit differently. We have a different makeup, a different workforce. And so I remain hopeful that that will be recognized, and that so that our workers can continue to go to work and then also frequent the small businesses that are out there, the restaurants, the salons, the other different kinds of small businesses that we frequent on a daily basis, then we don't realize how dependent they are upon our business. So our county remains dedicated and focused on our small businesses. Our supervisors are very focused on engaging with the small business community. We have an economic recovery task force that's made up of different industries in our county, which includes hospitality, entertainment, we have logistics, we have services and other kinds of businesses that are part of this economic recovery task force that is out there emphasizing the needs for our region to appeal to our federal and state partners to continue the good work that we're doing. And so what I want to close with is my hope and my optimism for a new year. We've lived through this year. It continues to batter us, but there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And I firmly believe that with our vaccine development that's going to be deployed, from the federal government. We will be the frontline distributors of the vaccine. We will ensure that our residents are protected. We will engage with our small communities to help them open back up, to expand their services, provide a safe workplace for their workers and also for their customers. And so we will protect those that are most vulnerable at the same time, which we continue to do. But we will get through this. It will seem like forever, but we will look back upon this time and remember how we all came together, and that how we will continue to work together in 2021 to make it way better than 2020.